Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Real Reds Talk. On today's show, it's actually our first official head-to-head on this channel. So I think that deserves a like on the video, if you agree, Sam. And with the transfer window opening soon, we thought we would take a look at a few of our midfield targets and make a comparison between them. How are you doing today, Samuel?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I know you've got a video going out on Frenkie de Jong, or it might have gone out already, depending on it. Which is a little disappointing, but we're going to go through the stats anyway because it's interesting to look at.
Certainly going to be an interesting comparison. I was going to say, I'm sure you've guessed who it is by the giant fucking thumbnail. It's Ruben Neves versus Frenkie de Jong. It'd be interesting as well. Get the comments in below the video to see who you guys prefer. Because there's a bit of mixed reviews. A lot of people obviously kind of side with de Jong, but I've seen quite a few people go for Neves as well. So maybe this will change your mind a little bit. Sam being one of them. If you haven't already as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content at all. I'm going to explain what kind of stats we're bringing to the table for the show in particular. Allow me to run through them for you. So for a midfielder, obviously the main things we want to take a look at is appearances, ground duels, aerial duels, successful dribbles. So how many times he sent someone to the gulag. Possession lost, how many times given away the ball, interceptions per game, tackles per game, pass completion, fouls committed, goals, assist, touches per game, big chances created, key passes per game. Now, a lot of people are a bit like, kind of not sure what to think about what that is. That's basically a pass leading to a decent attempt on goal, just for a bit of clarity. And we're also going to take a look at the passing style. So long ball, chipped, crosses, what kind of variation they prefer or more likely to do, let's say, and how many yellow cards they've received. So focusing on discipline. All these stats as well are from the respected leagues, by the way. So it's not all comps. It's just in La Liga for de Jong, of course, and the Premier League for Ruben Neves. So Sam is going to read out Ruben Neves' stats, and I'm going to do de Jong's. Without further ado, Sam, let's get into it. Let me just grab them up. So de Jong. So first off, we've got appearances. So how many has Ruben Neves got for Wolves?
33 appearances and 31 of them are starts.
Right. So
it's appearances from the bench.
Okay. So it's very similar to de Jong. So de Jong's played 32 and started 30. What's the next one? It's ground duels. So ground duels. What are we on?
You go with yours because it's not come up on mine.
Ground duels. There we go. So 3.8, 63%.
So Ruben Neves is 3.2, 49%. So it's a little less.
Wow, so it's less.
Yeah, a little less.
Interesting.
But, I think that entire Wolves team is quite dogged and quite heavy on sort of defense and press and tackling, whereas Barcelona's a little different, isn't it? Barcelona's it's more of a free flow. Everybody's got a job and then they all join in the attack. Whereas I think with Wolves it's a bit different. So everybody joins the defending and then they get it up.
So
to
do you
the
think
front players.
Because more people are similar to Neves in that team, they're all kind of dogged. That takes away.
You've got Moutinho's quite good with it. You've got who's the other midfielder?
You've got Conor Cody at centre back. You've got
Cody's very good.
Well, they play with like a back five Wolves, don't they?
Yeah.
So they're very defensive team.
Whereas Barcelona, there's not many defensive players. Like pretty much two centre backs and like a midfield. That's it. Everybody else is just going forward in it.
Yeah. It does surprise me a little bit though, because de Jong, a lot of people kind of associate de Jong with like maybe a bit of a flair player. Do you know what I mean? Like not get stuck in. I don't know if people watch a lot of him, but
he is. But he's also from the Ajax academy. You got to remember that. So
yeah.
Technically, he's good at everything. Like you can stick him in number 6. I'm sure he'd do a very good job because he's from the Ajax academy. So they are very technically good on the ball, good at tackling, passing, everything. So
yeah, it's a very good point that because they're taught to do absolutely everything, aren't they, since a very young age. Like
he could probably pay net. He could probably pay net. To be honest with you, like he's probably taught that. So.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. That straight away off the bat, that's very interesting. Because I've seen de Jong's. I've tried not to look at Neves's, so we can have a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? A bit of a reaction to it, basically. We'll look at aerial duels. So for Frenkie de Jong, 0.8, 62%. of his aerial duels.
Again, he beats Ruben Neves at 0.6 per game, 43%.
Yeah, so what we off 20% there?
Neves doesn't strike me as an aerial guy. Like, he doesn't leave his feet that often. He's very much along the ground player. But it does surprise me Frenkie de Jong getting that much things. I've watched him, but obviously I've not watched him that much because I don't see him jumping for balls that much. But obviously I'm missing some stuff because.
Well, I'm not sure. I think Neves is a smaller player, isn't he? Naturally,
Yeah.
I think de Jong's a taller player. So how much you can kind of throw that into it, I'm not entirely sure. But again, a bit of a shock to me, I must admit. So successful dribbles, de Jong has 1.6%, 85% successful dribbles.
That's a ridiculous statistic, that.
Yeah, bear in mind he's a ball carrier. Like, they are different kind of players, but de Jong is one of the best ball carriers in Europe, in my opinion. So that having that successful dribble percentage, it's not much of a surprise, to be honest.
Yeah, so successful dribbles 0.8, 81%. Okay. So again, Neves is not like I know he can do that and he does get forward and stuff like that, but I think he's a more of
a passer, innit? I'd say
more passer, box to box style defender, whereas Frenkie de Jong again is more of a playmaker when he starts stuff and gets on the ball and stuff.
So what was his 0.8? Did you say? Oh, 0.8,
81%.
Right. Okay. Cool. So it's only 4% off in terms of a percentage. Possession lost. This one should be interesting. Where's it gone? There we go. Yeah, so 8.0 possession lost.
So again, Frenkie de Jong beating him, so 12.6.
So Ruben Neves loses it more.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit surprising because Barcelona are more of an attacking team. So I thought naturally they're more risky than maybe. Oh, but having said that as well, they keep the ball very well.
I think I was gonna say Barcelona are more dominant than Wolves are. Wolves tend to play very much not on the counter, but without the ball.
Yeah.
Defend deep, make sure they're solid, and then when they get the ball, that's when they start attacks. Whereas Barcelona will just pass you to death and dominate the ball completely. So.
See, this is the thing with stats. They tell some of the story, but they don't tell the complete narrative.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it's still very interesting. Interceptions per game. Where we at? There we go. So 0.6 for Frenkie de Jong.
Is that on the defending or the passing?
Yeah, defending. Top one.
Interceptions per game, 1.2.
Right, so there we go. So Ruben Neves, defensive actions are slightly better in that aspect, doubling de Jong's output with interceptions per game. So starting to flip a little bit towards Neves.
That, again, that's what he is, and he's a box-to-box style midfielder. So he's going to be breaking up play more. He's going to play similar to what Fred does: break up play, get hold of the ball, intercept the ball, and then,
but much better on the ball. Much better on the ball.
Obviously, much better on the ball than Fred. But like, if you watch Fred, what he does well, that's what Ruben Neves
breaking
does.
Up play,
breaks the ball. So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he's tipped him on that. Tackles per game, I imagine it might be the same, but I could be wrong. So for Frenkie de Jong, it's 1.1 tackles per game.
He's like double that, so he's 2.1.
Okay, right, okay. So starting to get a bit of a narrative itself now in who's better at what. De Jong obviously better at dribbling from the start, but Neves better in the defensive side. And then we've got pass completion, Sam. So pass completion for Frenkie de Jong, if I can find it. Bear with me a second. Accurate per game, let's go with. So 46.8, that's 91%, which is pretty good.
Yeah, so Neves is 49.1, 84%.
84%. Yeah, so slightly dropped in that. That is very good, that 91%. But again, La Liga, Barcelona, I know they haven't been great over the past 2 years, but you kind of associate that with a Barcelona player, wouldn't you?
Again, Ajax Academy, like you come out of the Ajax Academy, you know how to pass and make a successful pass. Like you've seen Donny do it, Frenkie de Jong do it, Timber can bloody do it. Like everybody in that Ajax Academy can make a good pass.
Yeah. Then we've got fouls committed. So let's just go with fouls on the other section. 0.8. I didn't think his would be high, to be honest. I think Neves would be more, if I was to guess.
Exactly the same.
Oh, the same. 0.8. Okay, so the first one where they're drawing on it. How many goals has Neves got? Just out of curiosity.
He's not got that many. He's got 4 goals.
That was more than de Jong.
4 goals in the league.
Yeah, and how many assists?
Assists, two assists.
Yeah, so Frenkie de Jong's got 3 goals, but then 3 assists. They are quite similar in a lot of aspects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If just to break up the stats a little bit, you're talking about price tag. You've seen the reports today. Frenkie de Jong asking for 70 million, I think, is it something like that?
70 to 80, isn't it?
Yeah, they're asking for 70 to 80, and then Neves, you could probably get for 40 million. I'd probably say.
Yeah.
Probably that'd be the right. So almost half the price. Stats, obviously you have to watch them play as well. I'm not saying, again, stats are not everything.
It's also who they play for as well. Like, Neves plays for Wolves, mid-table team, top 8 maybe, and then Barcelona, one of the best teams in the league, in La Liga, and also have a reputation, whereas Wolves don't have that reputation. So
yeah, absolutely. Going a bit more into sort of the dribbling, passing lane, touches per game. So 62.5 on touches, Sam.
So this is where Neves probably ups his 71.7.
Oh, so he's got more.
Yeah, so I think that's to do with the interceptions and the tackles and stuff like that Neves does. So I think he's breaking up play, getting on the ball, but obviously he's not as creative with it as Frenkie de Jong is when he's on the ball. I think Frenkie de Jong receives the ball from whoever he's playing with in the midfield, whereas Neves will go and hunt for the ball and get it. And then that's all.
I think if I was to give an early summary, obviously we're going to get a few more stats, but I feel like just looking at these as well, I've obviously watched them both play, but Neves, if there was any of them to put him as a 6, I'm not saying they are 6s because they're more 8s. If there was, I think Neves would suit it more.
Yeah.
I think Neves on the defensive side.
Neves is more what we need right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you can get both, fantastic. Like a midfield of Neves, De Jong and Bruno. I mean, that's fucking a great midfield, absolutely amazing midfield. But obviously, with the budget we have, I think it's rumored to be about 120, 150 million. If you're going to drop 70, 80 million on De Jong, you're not getting another midfielder. Like, it's just not happening because we need a centre back and a striker as well out of that. So
and I hate using this word, but he's Premier League proven as well. He is like it's less of a risk. I'm not saying De Jong isn't good enough to play in the league because, in my opinion, he is. But there's always a risk when you're buying someone from Europe when they're used to that set league, whether it's a slower league like Serie A or La Liga. For me, it's always a risk. It doesn't always translate into the Premier League. So that's another thing you have to take into account. Let's have a look at one of the big.
Before you go on to the next one, how old's De Jong?
I believe he's 24.
All right, so they're similar age because Neves is 25. So
so again, similar. It's weird, isn't it? So this is a big one. So big chances created. De Jong has 3 big chances created.
Exactly the same. 3.
Same again.
Same again.
Okay. Maybe start calling him Frenkie Neves or Ruben de Jong. Ruben de Jong sounds better, actually, doesn't it? Yeah. Key passes per game. So key passes 1.3.
Neves is a little less, 0.8.
Yeah, again, playing to the narrative. Neves better at the defensive side. De Jong better from a technical front, probably passing and attacking and ball carrying. The passing style, like the variations, you've got accurate long balls, chip passes, and crosses. I'll tell you the 3 for Frenkie de Jong, Sam. So for long balls, it's 83%, chip passes 80%, and crosses 16%. So interesting to get Ruben Neves is what he's got.
So De Jong beats him on 2 out of the 3. So long balls is 62% for Neves, 54% for chip passes, but on crosses, 23%. So he's a little more reliable on crosses, which is surprising for a central midfielder. Like he's a lot of crosses.
Yeah, so. Especially when the way Wolves play when they've got wing backs.
Yeah,
you think a lot of the emphasis would be on them for the crosses rather than from it coming from midfield. But maybe them like deep crosses that Kevin De Bruyne does when he gets played back into the midfield and someone makes that run to the back post.
You probably think they used to play with Traore, who ironically is now at Barcelona.
Yeah.
And he couldn't cross to save his life. Like he was good rate, but he couldn't do a cross. So you have to obviously rely on somebody else because he's not going to be able to do it. So
I'm just looking. Opposition half. Have you got the opposition half there? So the percentage in there. So 87%.
Accuracy.
Yeah.
77%, 23.6. So
So it's slightly off from long balls, chip passes, and the opposition half, but only a little bit with the opposition half. And then he's got more accurate crosses.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about yellow cards, Sam? How many yellow cards is
I think this is why it
yeah,
might go a bit,
this will probably differ, won't it?
Slightly off. So he's got 9 yellow cards.
Wow. He is a bit of a shithouse, though, isn't he, Neves?
Yeah, he does like a tackle and he does like a bit of a niggle. So, 9 yellow cards, that's right. He hasn't got any reds, though, so that is a good sign. Like,
but look, you can look at that. Again, it's all about the narrative. You can look at it like he gets stuck in. He works hard for the team. He's all, if he was to join United, he'd be a proper red. Or you can look at it saying he lacks discipline. He jumps into tackles. No, I think
if you got a lot of reds, then you'd say the discipline argument holds weight. But I think I can't remember what game it was, and who was it? Scott McTominay, where somebody was attacking a United game, and he needed to make that tactical foul to stop the attack.
Oh, it was Fred.
Was it Fred?
Against Everton.
Just make the tactical foul, take the yellow, and stops the attack. And he didn't do it. It's like Neves probably does that. I've not watched Wolves every game, but when I see him, he does that a lot. You see a game, they're on the attack after they've done one and they're on the counter.
Yeah.
Tactical foul, take the yellow, stops the attack, reorganize your defense, stops the goal. It's just like
City do that. Fernandinho is the embodiment,
he's the master
of that.
He's the master of it. He doesn't even look. He knows the ref's going to book him. He don't even look. He just walks off. He's just like,
Exactly. So some may even call it streetwise. Who knows? Yeah. Has he had any red cards, by the way?
No reds. That's what I'm saying. No reds at all. So which is
so.
Good.
If I was to ask you, how many yellow cards do you think De Jong's got?
I wouldn't say that many. Like 2, 3,
5.
5.
Got and he's got a red card.
Who did he get sent off?
I'm not entirely sure.
Was it a straight red or was it yellow red?
So it says yellow. There's one yellow red and then one red card. So I'm not sure if that's.
No, red card is just straight red, isn't it? So yellow red is 2 bookings. So he's had 2 red cards.
So again,
wow,
not too far off.
Bit of a temper on him.
Yeah, a wee bit of a temper, but again, I don't mind a bit of a temper, to be honest. As long as it's not every single game, like we see it with Bruno now, where he's just kicking off at every decision, and that is not what we need. I'm not saying that's what we need. But
I don't want Mark. I love Marcus Rojo, but again, just constantly, just the amount of tackles he threw in, where it's like that's a red. He's going, just not great.
I don't mind a bit of fight as long as it's measured. Do you know what I mean? Like at the right times. If you're playing a derby game against Liverpool or something like that, like you have to.
Hannibal Medjugorje coming on, put your foot through John Ensign, take a yellow.
Yeah.
Show you've got a bit of fight. I've got no issue with that. I think that's
absolutely. That was a very quick blast of stats. But again, we're just here to give you, for you guys to sort of break it down and let us know what you think. Be interesting to know. So let us know in the comment section who you prefer, why you prefer them, and have the stats themselves shocked you, because I've read through some of them and I'm kind of like, I thought some would be very different to what they are. So very interesting. But yeah, Sam, just an overall opinion on what we've just gone through, if you can.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get sort of if you had the choice between the two, where you going?
Again, like it goes back to you said, we probably, if we was to buy a player, we probably need Neves more. I think because there's no suggestion of a number 6, which I'm sure you're very aware of, and let's
not bring that up.
Yeah.
We're gonna be here for another hour. We just
bit of a tough spot in it. But for what we need, I'd say it's more Ruben Neves. And if we was to kind of shoehorn someone into that position, because let's face it, it's going to happen again. We've done it with Scott for the last year. So I'd much rather have Neves there if we're going to do that rather than De Jong, because I think the key to unlocking De Jong's potential will be with a proper DM alongside it. Like Barcelona's got Busquets. I know he's quite old and he's like 35.
Well, Busquets don't need to run, does he? Literally, like
it's all in his
to do his running.
It's all in his mind.
It's like Pirlo. Pirlo was there for 38, 39, and he don't need to run. He just
spraying balls. Makes the ball do the work. That's what I'm saying. And De Jong's main features, as you just seen it then, we've been through it, is dribbling and ball carrying is unreal. And is in the final third, he's dangerous, and that's where you need him. You don't want him sat right in front of the 2 centre-backs like Matic does, for me. So I would probably prefer Neves, but if you can get a DM in, a Tchouaméni, who I'm a massive fan of, probably going to go to Real Madrid, but someone like that who's a destroyer, and we'll put in yards. Maybe if there was a younger version of N'Golo Kante, someone like that.
Or we're being linked with him, which really annoys me.
But like, it's just that's the problem.
Old United, that in it. So old United.
Just look at his injury record. Like honestly, this year it's been shocking. Why would you go get someone then like that? It's not reliable. You need consistency in that team.
We've done it. They've not learned from the past. Cavani and just Varane. Just stop buying injury-prone players. Like it's so frustrating
because it hinders your season. Kante is a great player. He'd be better than what we've got, but his injury record right now.
On his day, he's arguably one of the best DMs in the world.
But the best in that Champions League campaign with Chelsea, he got 2 man of the matches, one in the semi-final and then one in the final.
Yeah.
I think
he's man of the match in the World Cup finals as well, a couple of times as well.
One World Cup, one Champions Leagues. He is one Premier League with Leicester. Like the guy is phenomenal. But he's 31 now. I think So not a realistic target. Honestly, Sam, I'd probably be happy with any of them. But I don't want a player who doesn't want to be here. So if De Jong doesn't want to be here, I don't want someone like that. I'd rather go for Neves. And I think it'd be an easier deal to do, to be honest. I think Ruben Neves' agent is Jorge Mendes. Yeah, and he's the same agent as Darwin Núñez, I believe.
Ronaldo as well, isn't he?
Yeah, so that could be a deal where, they strike 2 deals.
He's got that Portuguese
he's got about 20 Portuguese
well. So he'll have no problems fitting in either. Yeah. And I'm sure as a Portuguese player, he's going to look at there's Ronaldo's there. I want to play with Ronaldo.
Bruno Fernandes as well. Diego Dallo.
Yeah, Alex Telles and Fred speak Portuguese. They're Brazilian, but they speak Portuguese. So
I think he'd settle in very well. Personally, he works hard. He's got everything you want, really, as a player.
I mean, I've been talking about him on the channel for months now. I think he's a great option. Wouldn't cost that much. Would love to come. Age profile's perfect. Slot straight into the first team at 25. Don't need much thing. And I think he'd work well under Ten Hag. But again, like you said, why are we not getting linked to a number 6? It's driving me up the wall. Why are we chasing Frenkie de Jong, who doesn't want to come, has come out with comments at time of recording today.
Yeah.
When you see this video, it'll be yesterday. I'm happy at Barcelona. It's my dream club. Why are we chasing somebody like that? Why are we doing that? I don't.
Yeah,
it just makes no sense to me.
It's true. That's been our recruitment plan for the past 10 years or whatever. So it really doesn't make sense. If we was to bring in a proper DM, Sam, would you mind bringing De Jong in then?
If he gets a DM behind him, no problem with it. Because I think Severe said it on a video. He's the icing on your cake. Mm-hmm. He's once you get your back line, your defense sorted out, and your DM sorted. Which is, we seem to be sorting out our centre backs at the minute. This rumors of Pau Torres, Timber, Lisandro Martinez. There's loads of so hopefully we get centre back in who can play next to Varane or Lindelof, and a full back maybe. And then if we get a solid DM, Frank de Jong, that's perfect. It's just it's like Salt Bay in it. Just there you go.
It's a very good example. I do think he would level up that midfield with technical quality.
The
difference from him to Scott McTominay is the fucking worlds apart. So
and you can rotate him out. You've got Donny and Bruno and Frankie de Jong, and then Neves, and then if you get a DM as well, you can rotate them in and out, and you don't lose any quality. You don't lose any sort of drops in consistency and stuff. It's a very good, solid midfield. And then you've still got Fred and McTominay to bring on at 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to wrap a game up, close a game down, stuff like that. So it works, but I want to see us linked to a DM. I want to see it because it's baffling to me why we've not got one.
Well, we were saying that last summer, weren't we, as well? Yeah. We was like, why have we not bought? I said, what's going on? I said to Dan on the news show the other day, I wouldn't put it past Ten Hag if we had a midfield by, say, November, December. I could be way off on this because we could go buy someone completely different. If we had Garner, Donny, and De Jong, and then played Bruno off the left like he does, with Tadic.
Yeah.
Left-hand side, if he did that with Bruno, because he's been playing left wing the past few games. That's just a shout I've got. I could look back at this and think, you're a fucking idiot. What was you on about? It could be a completely different midfield, but I just feel like that's
we don't. Ten Hag is we know how he plays at Ajax, but these players are so below the level that Ajax players are at. So we have no idea what he's going to do, what he sees in the players, and who he thinks, right, I can trust him. I can trust him. I can trust him. And who he's going to go, you get out, and you get out.
Yeah.
Because you're not playing. So
definitely need to regenerate that midfield anyway, because we know it's been awful for a long time. So we need some fresh faces in that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Donny van der Beek as well. But yeah, we thought we'd just give you a very quick head-to-head first official one, as I said. So make sure you drop that like on the video, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any content at all. And if you like stuff like this, of course, we'll do plenty more of them. So yeah, just let us know.
Share it around to your friends as well. Like if you've got mates who are football fans or United fans, even better, share it to them. Send them a link. Send it, put it on your social media, or put it in your WhatsApp groups, whatever. Like it helps us out massively. We're trying to grow this thing, so the word of mouth and you telling people about it is the best advertising we can do. Because you like it, and you can tell your mate that you like it, and then they tell them, and it grows. So also
drop us a DM as well if there's something specific you'd like to see. You know, we're open to any ideas.
Have a chat with us. Like we've chatted with people on match days and stuff. Like drop us a chat. We're always happy to chat football.
Always open to chat, always open for ideas. So anything's welcome. And yeah, thank you for watching. Genuinely, I really appreciate it. And thank you, Sam, for joining me. It's been fun as always. We will see you in the next one. Make sure you join us tomorrow for some streaming on FIFA. First official stream as well. Big things happening here. So yeah, me and Adam are going to be on FIFA. And
let's hope it recreates our season going forward, because we need some good stuff happening.
Yeah,
so
we're actually going to do a Ten Hag season on FIFA and realistic signings. So again, come join us for that. And we'll see you in the next one, guys.
It'll be live on YouTube. So we'll put something out on social media, but it'll be live on YouTube. So come join the chat, come join in. It'll be fun. Just come watch.
Absolutely. Perfect. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Peace.